Libya as a country has been suffering for the last like 10 years for some political changes and continuous governmental changes. But throughout these years, although all of these political conflicts, we've seen a big development in the ICT sector. And as a matter of fact, the development of the ICT infrastructure in Libya is continuously improving. And one of the facts that Libya is heading towards a big technological transformation at the moment. So some of the carrier service providers, or the mobile service provider here in the country, they are almost up ready to provide their 5G services in the country, leading to become one of the first countries in the Mediterranean, and not just across Africa or the North African. So Libya has a big this big potential, but they still just like the local ecosystem, the ICT ecosystem, they still miss some of the guidance that can actually be provided with some quantum specialists of how to develop the the quantum ecosystem. Since I have mentioned that there are no specific quantum institutions to actually provide these type of services, which basically what we're working on in Quanta OY is we have a mission of building the Libyan ecosystem, and we believe that with persistence, with continuous, with the continuous vision that we have, is that we are going to place Libya amongst the leaders across the region in terms of the adaptation of quantum technologies, in terms of developing the quantum safe security infrastructure. And we are doing quite a good process at the moment with some leaders in the ICT public sector at the moment, which holds the whole telecom infrastructure in the country, or across Libya. So when you talk about regionally, we have Egypt, Tunisia on our side, or in our borders. These two countries, certainly they have their own very advanced technological transformation, or the digital transformation plans. So altogether, as a North African region, we're going to see some interesting digital transformation plans towards the quantum transformation, the big quantum transformation, which is coming up the next 10 years. So specifically for business, for industries, we are, we're developing some creative or innovative use cases for the Libyan industry that specifically can be applied in any other country that is almost similar to Libya, that lacks the awareness, not specifically the money that we're lacking here in the country. We, as the public sector that owns the ICT sector, they got loads of money in their bank accounts. They just lack the awareness. They lack the guidance, and that's what we're trying to provide. Reflecting the development of the global quantum ecosystem, and also we try to to divide the global ecosystem by regions, in which region we have the most familiarities, what are the regions globally that we have similar environment, similar parameters that we can actually take into consideration, which basically, you have the money but you don't have the awareness. What do you do then? Okay, so when we started tackling this big issue, when we started talking to the big CEOs of these companies, the first question they ask is that, what is my return on investment? I don't have a problem giving you maybe 10 million USD, like $10 million. We have that. Okay, it's not about the money, but it's almost about the instant gratification. You get me? So we try to provide them with a vision that we are at the moment dealing with shallow technologies with which basically just gives you this instant gratification because you have a direct stream of revenues. Like it's very obvious. Millions of people have done it this way globally and even regionally. Tons of business, business deals that are being done at the moment, but we are starting to provide them with a vision towards the deep tech field, which is basically, as the Boston Consulting Group or has mentioned, is that constructed by advanced science and advanced engineering and creative product design. So when we approach them by this fact that deep technologies era, you don't expect a return on investment like right away. Sometimes you just put a lot of money, you don't get that after 1 year, 2 years, and not even sometimes 5 years. But eventually, all along the way, like the end of the road, you are going to need to know how to play the quantum game. Okay, if you don't know the rules at the moment, you wouldn't even know how to plan. Okay, so we're showing them the way at the moment of how to strategically plan or develop strategic plans, how to conduct some if I could just say risk assessment or risk assessment of if you don't specifically work at the moment on quantum technologies or developing, changing the mindset towards the quantum transformation, you're gonna have a big deal having issues, specifically in the C-level management. You can't really convince someone that is spent his life almost like 20 years in the telecom sector, and you try to suddenly change his way of tackling problems or investment problems, exactly of what to invest in, when to invest. So these things, they take some time, especially in countries like Libya. And I personally believe that the case of Libya can be definitely generalized, normalized globally in any country. And I have a very ambitious vision that if we can do quantum in Libya, like when we when we have a very robust initiative, then I can guarantee that, like personally, André, can guarantee you that quantum can be applied anywhere. If you could just have this special ingredients, how to do things and when to do and how to act. Okay, these are all special ingredients that need special techniques, and as failure is not the end of the road. You just need to have an experience of how not to do things.